the Shirley Batty Show. And them I can show more watch on TV. Hey, my selector, fire it up. Go on, Shirley. Easy.
Shirley Batty Show. Everybody knows it's the Shirley Batty Show. Oh, I love me. Oops, and you too.
Well, hello again, everybody, and welcome to my show, the Shirley Batty Show. And today we have a very special guest. His name is Ross, and he is a survivor of COVID-19. So, I want to say hello, Ross. Hello.
Shirley, hi. How you doing? Hi, Shirley.
Still here. You're well. So, can you tell us a bit about your experience with COVID-19?
Yeah, I caught COVID on the 29th of September. I was working in a client's house, fitting his kitchen. It all started like a couple of days previous to 29th of September, where he said he had a bit of a headache and he was tired. And I presumed it was through lack of sleeping because I was getting him up early. He was a lorry driver. He was coming in at 4 and then getting up at 7:30 to let me in at 8 o'clock. So I just presumed it's that. So we had a couple of days of him having a headache and feeling tired. And then after the weekend, I went in on a Monday and his wife's there as well. And she's not feeling good too. So she comes out and makes me a hot mint tea and they keep making me coffees and everything. And they both sitting in the front room with a headache and a little bit of a cough. And I didn't actually click at the time. There could be a problem or there could be an issue with the COVID situation. So I've carried on for 2 days, sticking their kitchen in. And at Tuesday, I started feeling unwell, started feeling tired, fatigued. And I just thought it was fatigue, We're running around all weekend and working, and the week before, like really pushing it, trying to get the kitchen done and everything. And I thought, okay, fatigue. Wednesday, more fatigue. And I was really, I was at a point, I was like 80% like fatigue, and I had about 20% power left in me. And I had to go and see someone. So at 8 o'clock, I went and see someone on a Wednesday night and sorted out their issues with their boiler and came home. And I thought, I don't think I'm going to be going to work on Thursday. I had to go into work on Thursday to go and see the guys, the electrician and everything, whilst the kitchen. And a few hours there, I said, look, I'm going home. I mean, fortunately, we all wore masks at the time. I didn't get close to anyone. It came home, and that Thursday night, I was dead to the world. I felt the bus had hit me, basically, and ran me over twice. I thought, okay, let's take some paracetamols. It might be a cold, whatever. And by Saturday, I thought I've got to get some tests. Now, my client had a test a few days previous, and they were waiting for the results on Saturday. So I said, no, I'm not waiting for the results. Let's just go and get some results, So I got driven down to the test centre, took a test. On the Sunday, it was positive. Well, by Sunday, I felt really dead to the world. I was in a lot of pain. My body ached. I couldn't move. So I went to bed on the Sunday night. Monday morning, I woke up with the highest temperature you could ever have.
Oh, my dear.
I was at 40 degrees temperature, and I was shivering. I was cold, and my temperature was high. So we rang the doctors up, take paracetamols. By Thursday morning, I said, I can't take any more of this high temperature because it was going up and it was down, up and down. And I was in a lot of pain. So I rang the doctor up and he says, well, I think your best bet is to go to A&E. So I went to A&E in Harlow, Essex Hospital. They put me into the respiratory department. And they started doing the tests on me.
Hello, Ross. Sorry, could you move back a little bit in the camera?
Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
Yeah, I was leaning there, getting lazy. So, I went to the recovery department and they took a few tests on me. They gave me some oxygen, and that was at 11 o'clock in the morning. By 7 o'clock at night, they said, we're keeping you in. They'd done all the tests to me. I was still positive, of course, and they put me in a ward, in a room on my own, basically. They started giving me medication. I didn't see anyone. The nurses were coming in, all masked up and everything. They gave me some medication, put me on a drip. I was in there for 2 days. On Saturday, I was feeling a lot better on Saturday. So it took actually. The funny thing about it is, I'll go step back a bit. The funny thing about it, I was 6 days with feeling tired. I had then another 3 days of feeling with high temperature. So on the 9th day, I went into hospital with this, with the temperature. Anyway, on the few days later, on the Saturday, I felt a lot better. My temperature dropped completely, and I started to recover. So they then let me out on the Monday, on the Monday evening. But the only problem was that I had hiccups for 3 nights and 3 days. Would you believe? So I was hiccuping for 3 nights and 3 days. When I got home, I still had hiccups for another 2 days. I had pains in my chest and everything through the hiccuping. So it was a horrible ordeal, basically. Horrible ordeal.
How did you actually feel when you was in the hospital? Did you feel like, oh my God, this is it?
Sorry, I couldn't hear you. Sorry.
Sorry, when you was in hospital, how did you actually feel? Do you think, oh my God, my time has come?
No. I was never worried. I felt that was I was okay. I knew I had a high temperature, but because they didn't put me on the ventilator, I had about 3 liters of oxygen on that Thursday. So because I wasn't on the ventilator, I wasn't concerned about my life. No.
And you got a partner as well. And did it affect your partner in any way?
Sorry, I just can't hear you.
Sorry, you got a partner.
Yeah, my partner. She. The funny thing is, I was on the hospital on the Thursday, and later that evening, she started feeling symptoms. So 9 days, or maybe a little bit longer, 9 days after I got it, my partner got it, and we were living together. So it goes to show that you could get it living with someone, but it'd come out 9 days later. And she had it, but she was like nearly 2 weeks behind me, basically. So that was weird. So when they say that when you've got someone's got it, you've got to isolate for 14 days. It might not come out for 9 days. So you've got to be careful with that situation as well. Getting tested at the right time, because really, if you met someone, I think you've got to be tested at least after a week of meeting someone with COVID.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So did she have to isolate as well then?
Yeah, she was like 2 weeks. I didn't get that question. Sorry.
Did she have to isolate as well?
Yeah, that was the horrible thing about it, because I came out of hospital and she was in isolation. I was negative and she was still positive. So that means we had to isolate together in the same house. Now, they said to me that I could actually get the virus again. We had to isolate together, and it meant that I could actually get it. So we had to go in separate rooms. I mean, when I did get it, we were in separate rooms in the first place, but I still had to sleep in a separate room. We had to wipe everything down, stay away from each other. She was at one end at the sofa and I was at the other. So what's new? But yeah, so we just found that we had to stay separate. Now we thought, okay, how long do we do this? So now it was 10th day now that she was in isolation. I was like 10 days home from the hospital. she still had a cough, and we thought, okay, let's have another test. And then she proved negative, and I was negative. So, actually, she proved positive after 10 days. I came from the hospital. She was positive, and I was still negative. So we isolated for another 10 days.
Wow.
And then we got another test, and that's when we were negative. So we had actually 3 tests in all. Yeah, just to make sure that we were both negative. But she still, her cough lingered for a couple of weeks, and a bad cough. Thank God she didn't have any like breathing problems. But yeah, her cough. I caught ammonia with it, and I was lucky.
You're very lucky, yes. So, what advice would you give to anyone outside, who doesn't really believe in COVID?
Oh God, but trust me, believe in it, because it's out there. Anyone can get it. And I was speaking with the nurses, and they learned a lot in hospital the first time round by how many people they got in there, and they said that second time round it's going to be a lot worse. But they got it covered in a way. It is happening out there. All walks of people going inside, all ages are going inside hospital. Because when I was on the ward, you weren't allowed to walk around on the ward, but speaking to the nurses, they had some old people in there, but they had some young people in there as well who were suffering. Yeah, they should believe it's happening. And I think once you've got it, or a relative has got it, I think you'll start believing. Once you've got it, you know how much pain you're in, and how much troubles it can give you. I mean, it took me, I would say, 4 weeks to recover from it. That's getting, feeling tired, continually tired all the time. I thought the more I eat, the more energy I get. So I was eating every couple of hours because I was feeling that tired. And it's only like this last few days that I started to feel a lot better in myself. And that was from the 29th of September. So it's been a long time, 6-7 weeks.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's out there, guys. And believe me, you don't want it. You don't want it.
What are you doing now to make sure that this doesn't happen to you again in the future?
I mean, I'm working, so I'm wearing my mask. I'm continuously wearing my mask. You go on site. I'm working for physical, so I'm in a kitchen, in someone's kitchen. For a start, I'm not taking any teas and coffees from my client like they used to, because that's how I believe I got it. I mean, my last client, they weren't around me, but it must have been in the air, or it must have been on the cup they were giving me, or something like that. So I'm not doing any teas and coffees. I'm not using their bathroom. I think the client has got a portaloo on this particular job because they're worried about it, and we're wiping things down as we go along. So we have to be really cautious. Believe you me, it's so easy to catch. So easy. While I was speaking to the nurse when I was in hospital, she said, we can't believe how easy it is to catch, because one guy was isolating for 3 months. He was an older guy, isolating for 3 months. He went once to Tesco's to get some food because he was short on food. It was the only time he couldn't get it delivered. He ended up in hospital from that one trip. He said, I went to the Tesco's, picked the food up, came back home, didn't see anyone, didn't speak to anyone, and I got COVID. So just by going to the shops. So yeah, so you've got to be careful how you go, where you go and what you do. Definitely.
Wow. Thank you very much for that insight, Ross. It's been a pleasure talking to you. I'll have a little chat after the show. Okay, so
all right then.
Okay.
Thank you, Shirley.
Okay, no problem.